Superlight Challenge for 2001. They've moved on from the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit to the Donington Park Grand Prix circuit, taking in some of the best of British motor racing tracks and some fabulous weather. Peter Mangian on pole from John Gladman, the reigning road sports champion, who is also the current championship leader. Rob Garofal, Chris Cooper, row 2 of the grid. Row 3 as they get away, Stephen Worley and Philip Gladman. And our onboard camera with Jerry Taylor. Jerry starting in 10th place, one of the regular championship front runners. Surprising to see him so far back. Well, all through Redgate safely for the first time and rushing down the Craner curves. And these Caterham Superlights, using the 1.8 Rover engine, 16 valve, produces about 200 brake horsepower. Revs over 8,000 RPM, and 6-speed gearbox is being used as well. Slick tyres on these cars, unlike the road sports, and they're provided by Avon, who make the tyres for the Formula 3000 Championship, among other things. 505 kilos for the all-up weight of car and driver, with 200 brake horsepower. It's about 3 times the power-to-weight ratio of a normal family saloon. Well, John Gladman leading from the front row of the grid. Peter Mangian, the pole position man, sitting alongside him on the front row, dropped behind at the start. Fenton Ramsahoy started fairly well back in 13th place. Peter Mangian on the left, under pressure from 3 teammates coming down the inside line. We're riding with Jerry Taylor, and Jerry up to 6th position, having started in 10th place. Chasing the lead group. Oh dear, spinner there, Amos Roney, but they all managed to avoid him somehow. That was quick thinking by a couple of them there. 7 car on the inside, that's Chris Cooper. Number 3 there is Rob Garofal, he's the 3rd of the yellow cars. And the one in 2nd place, that's Peter Mangian. Mangian launches himself down the inside to take the lead. On board with Richard Hay, started right behind Jerry Taylor, 11th place in the starting lineup. And he's inside Simon Bennett there, the turquoise car, just exiting the final corner. As the leaders come 3 abreast down to Redgate. On the outside, John Gladman. Whoa, and he has a little weave there as he gets right up alongside Peter Mangian. Mangian just cutting in front of Chris Cooper, with Jerry Taylor in the middle of this battle. There you can see the 3 leaders right ahead. Number 3 car of Rob Garofal right in front of us. Dives inside Philip Gladman. Gladman, the black car, looking to take the place back on the exit, and may well do so. And there is the number 8 car of Jerry Taylor right in the midst of that. Goes inside Gladman as well. Philip and John Gladman, incidentally, no relation at all. How perverse that is. Stephen Worley with his traditional Dayglow orange rollover hoop. Thank goodness somebody's kept to the same colour scheme year after year. Makes life very much easier for commentators. Peter Mangian leads from Chris Cooper. John Gladman in 3rd place. Cooper pulls out on the long straight under the bridge, and he'll have the advantage coming up to the S's, but Mangian holding on the inside, not quite deep enough under brakes. Cooper takes it, Mangian 2nd, Gladman in 3rd place as they come down towards the Melbourne hairpin. Jerry Taylor in 4th place now, having slipped by Rob Garofal on the run up to the S's. Garofal, the yellow car on the outside. Then Philip Gladman and Stephen Worley. And that looks like Richard Hay next up. So the men who didn't quite manage to find the pace in qualifying certainly have it in the race. Jerry Taylor and Richard Hay, 10th and 11th on the grid, not really what you'd expect. Stephen Worley there, car 22, holding on to the back of this lead battle now. He's in 6th place and position swapping all over the place. Gladman back out front, Chris Cooper in 2nd. There is Rob Garofal, getting back in front of Jerry Taylor. And this really is classic Caterham racing. Doesn't seem to matter if it's on a tight, slow circuit or a flat-out fast circuit like the Grand Prix circuit at Donington Park. These cars still have the ability to thrill wherever they are. Jerry Taylor, car number 8. Taylor, this group here in 5th place. Pushing hard to try and stay in contention. Philip Gladman right behind him. Then Stephen Worley, and looks as though Richard Hay is getting a little closer to that battle as well. John Gladman leading. Peter Mangian in 3rd behind Chris Cooper. And here's Richard Hay. Number 11 machine trying to work his way further up towards the front. Oh, huge battle, the 3 yellow cars all together. Mangian now the third of them. Jerry Taylor trying to battle it out under brakes with Philip Gladman. John Gladman out front. There's Philip, 66. Jerry Taylor behind him, Stephen Worley. In the 21 machine of Peter Ratcliffe. And car number 6, Simon Bennett, on the tail of that group. Richard Hay, the yellow nose, leading the chasing pack. That's Gladman and Mangian squabble. And somebody's lost something important. Marshall goes to collect that. I often wonder what happens when you do lose a bit of your car like that. How on earth you go and find out who's got it afterwards. I suppose Philip Darby, who it was who lost the nose, will have to wander off down to the marshals later after the race, or maybe he'll leave that to the team. This is one of the battles further back. Number 12 machine is Michael Johnston, number 14 David Hornsey. John Gladman running away at the front. He's picked up a bin liner somewhere on the front suspension. That won't stop him too much. And this big battle behind. Oops, a daisy. Somebody over the dirt there, that's Philip Gladman on board with Richard Hay, trying to come around the carnage. He went round on the tarmac, down the inside to the Melbourne hairpin. There's Gladman right ahead. And here's the battle in front of them. Mangian, Cooper, Garafall and Jerry Taylor in that battle for second. And then Philip Gladman with Richard Hay launching himself up the inside and takes that position away. That's 5th place they're squabbling for. Stephen Worley behind in 7th. Of course, John Gladman running away with this one. He's already won 2 of the 3 races so far this season and had a 4th place in the other. On board with Jerry Taylor in this queue, squabbling for 2nd place. Follows Chris Cooper around the outside of Peter Mangian. Neatly done by both men. The hint of a puff of smoke from Cooper. Just saw over the rise John Gladman's car disappearing down to the hairpin. I guess they won't even see it as they come down the inside line. Oh, and Jerry Taylor leaving the door open a fraction for Rob Garafall, nearly to squeak down the inside. Dangerous moment there for Taylor. Peter Mangian on the back of that group. As Chris Cooper is 2nd. Jerry Taylor, the Tiger Strike car, in 3rd place. And Peter Mangian and Rob Garafall, the 2 teammates, battling behind. 5 minutes left to go. That will give them a good couple of laps. Lapping in under 1 minute 45. Richard Hay now car 11 on the back of this group. Out of Redgate and then going right again. Looking for that late apex there by the curb. Through Hollywood. Down the Craner curves. Just a fractional lift. Keep the car neat and tidy as up ahead the 44 car Peter Mangian waving its head, really weaving around under him. There is Rob Garafall, he's the immediate target. And Mangian, Garafall's teammate, right in front of him. Richard Hay in the ideal position here because he is free from attention behind, and in these closing stages can concentrate on making a move on the cars in front, try and fight his way through. This is the top half dozen. John Gladman way clear of the battle for 2nd place. And there is Jerry Taylor. And all further back, Peter Mangian outbrakes himself, holding off Rob Garafall. And goes off. Now Richard Hay will have to try and squeeze between them or cut to the inside. Can't do that. Mangian's on the inside already. So Richard Hay finds himself boxed out. Hay goes around the outside of Mangian. Now he'll try and cut back and get a good drive, but Mangian will again have the advantage as they come up to the final corner. So Gladman leading, Cooper taking 2nd from Jerry Taylor as Mangian gets back inside Garafall, and Hay still on the back of this group. Oh, slow exit for those two though as they battled on the curbs, and Hay's got a good drive out of the last corner. Down the inside he comes, right over by the grass. Can he take both of them in one move? He gets by Mangian, but not Garafall. So Cooper from Taylor, 2nd and 3rd. Garafall 4th, Hay 5th, Mangian in 6th place. That's a yellow car still in this battle. What can Peter Mangian do now? Can he fight his way back up? Don't forget, started on the front row of the grid, the pole position man, currently running in 6th place. John Gladman, who was alongside him, miles away from this group. And Stephen Worley retires in the pits in the closing moments. That's disappointing for him indeed. Battle under braking. Hay holding off Peter Mangian, now trying to come alongside Rob Garofal. Looks to the inside. Oh, and in comes Jerry Taylor. Jerry Taylor looking inside Chris Cooper there for 2nd place as Hay gets by Garofal. Nearly all went pear-shaped there as the 2 cars ahead of the battle for 4th place both suddenly decided to tuck in late and tight. Hay inside Taylor. They've been sparring partners for several years, Hay and Taylor. And wheel to wheel, all the way down the hill. Jerry has the advantage through the Craner curves, gets his nose back in front. 3rd place. Richard Hay in 4th. And then Rob Garofal and Peter Mangian 5th and 6th places now. So John Gladman, flash of him going through the shot. And Chris Cooper in 2nd ahead of the battle between Jerry Taylor, Richard Hay and Rob Garofal. This is all to try and work their way into the final podium finishing positions. Garofal 5th, poleman Mangian in 6th place, almost looks to be dropping away a little. And the tiger stripe car of Jerry Taylor giving a good tow to Richard Hay down the straight. He in turn is picking one up from Chris Cooper. Comes around the outside of Cooper into Fogarty's S's. And Jerry Taylor, a little bit boxed in there by Chris Cooper, slow run. And Richard Hay has the inside line, looks to the inside, under braking. Jerry Taylor just able to keep him back. And Hay in his turn able to hold off Garofal. There can't be much left of this one. They may have another lap to go as they get to the line. Possibly 2. Time is definitely running out. Very tricky for the driver to keep track of timed races. You can count the number of laps in your head if you know how many there are, 10, 15, 20, whatever. But you don't generally have much time to look at a watch, and few of them have fitted anything like a countdown timer to the dashboard. So very important to check your pit board as you come across the line and look for the last lap sign from the organisers on board with Jerry Taylor. As the battle continues further back. On the inside, Jack Newland. On the outside there, Alan Kerslake. And they keep themselves together. So with Jerry Taylor, Richard Hay ahead of him now. And Chris Cooper. That place change happening at the end of the front straight. And Richard Hay fired up in 3rd place. Jerry Taylor in 4th. Oh, and collision ahead. Contact between Hay and Cooper. And off they go. Well, they're both out on the final lap, but it looks as though no damage done to either driver. John Gladman miles away from that one out front. And now Jerry Taylor in 2nd place. The 2 Tiger Stripe cars 1st and 2nd, from 2nd and 10th on the grid. Jerry Taylor, though, with Rob Garofal for close company. And Peter Mangian there as well. So Garofal down the inside. Taylor goes out wide to take a late apex and get good drive up the hill, but I think he may have misjudged that one a fraction. It'll be wheel to wheel. Taylor will have the advantage of the inside line at the final corner. He takes 2nd, but will Peter Mangian get inside Rob Garofal for 3rd? No, I don't think so. Garofal holds on to that podium place. Mangian will be 4th at the line from pole position, but a comfortable victory for John Gladman. And further back, oh, last lap dramas. Jack Newland nearly getting shoved out there by Peter Ratcliffe, who got onto the brakes too late. They just managed to keep it under control. No change of position. Well, replay from onboard with Richard Hay. Last lap coming up to Coppice. Looking to go tight on the inside there of Chris Cooper, and the contact as the left front hit the right rear. Sorry about that, says Richard in the red suit. Didn't quite have the space I thought. But delight for John Gladman. 3 wins now from 4 starts in the Superlights for the reigning road sports champion. There's the rest of the top half dozen. Gladman, the championship leader from Garofal.